I also want to talk to you guys about some misconceptions that go along with the deaf culture and so forth. They've had a very interesting past that I don't know everything about, but I do know that they've been oppressed, and it affects them even till today. The oppression that has it's slowly getting better, but it's still not there yet. They're still being oppressed. They still have um, there's still bias and prejudice towards them. It's called autism, and not autism, autism. So one of the misconceptions is that all deaf people are completely deaf. This isn't true. Some deaf people are legally deaf, which means if you have a siren or a really loud roll of thunder, they can hear that. So it's possible that they have a certain percentage of their hearing. Also, there's some people that are hearing in one ear and not the other. They're considered hard of hearing, or if they can hear a certain amount, certain tones, it could be considered hard of hearing. So not all deaf people are completely deaf. First misconception. The second misconception is that all deaf people cannot speak. True? No, not at all. It's true that maybe they can't speak words as clearly or so forth, even though many of them have been forced to speak when they were growing up and so forth. But it's not a guarantee that they can't speak. And in fact, most of the people I know who are deaf have very strong voices, and they can make quite a bit of noise when they want to. When they're excited or when they're trying to get someone's attention, even though they can't hear themselves, they know that the world around them can hear themselves. They can hear what they're doing. A third misconception is that deaf people are stupid. Not true. Now, granted, in the past, because of the fact that they were deaf, they were not able to get the same education, probably led up to this belief. But there's a difference between being stupid and not being able to learn, and having great potential and just not having the opportunity to learn. So I want you to know that there are brilliant people out there who are also deaf. That does not it's not a direct correlation. Deaf equals dumb is not true. They can be deaf and very smart, and you can be hearing and very stupid. So I'm just trying to get that across, that is another misconception. As we go on through these lessons, and I'm planning on posting many of them, there's going to be times where I try to bring in the culture, try to give you some of my life experiences and so forth, so that you can really see where it's coming from. That it's not just straight up, here is vocabulary. Vocabulary will be our focus, though, because I really can't give you conversational skills when I'm talking to a camera. I really encourage you to go out into the world and maybe find a meetup where a group of people get together and just chat in sign language, or go to a deaf event. And even if you don't know a ton of sign, they're going to appreciate that you're trying to learn. Word of caution, though. When you're trying to learn, you have to be open to the idea that you may make mistakes. And if you make a mistake and a deaf person corrects you, do not tell them that they are wrong. That's not your place. And even if you have a reliable source that taught you this way, what you gotta do is just accept that that is how they're signing it, and maybe you can learn from it, but don't fight them, don't argue with them. That's not your place. So, that being said, I'm gonna get started. We're gonna start with the alphabet. Whichever hand is your dominant hand is the one that you should be signing with for your alphabet. Many signs in sign language use both hands to move, and many of them have one hand stationary while the other one's moving. The non-dominant is the one that stays stationary, and the dominant is the one that's moving. And many people are like, oh, I'm ambidextrous. If you are ambidextrous, and you would like to learn how to sign, you need to pick one hand to be your dominant hand and stick with it. You don't want to be midway through a sentence and lose track of which hand you were using to sign, okay? So we're going to start with the alphabet. I'm going to go really slow in the beginning, examine my hand shape and so forth, then I'll try it a little bit faster, and then we'll do it fast at the end. So we'll do 3 total times, okay? So the first sign is A. It looks like this. Thumb is on the outside. Palm is together. A. Your palm should be facing outward towards the person for the letter A. Then B. Thumb is across. Fingers are together. That's important. C. That shouldn't be too hard. D. This one gets a lot of people. Your pinky should be down. Your index finger is up. And if you look from my perspective, it makes the D shape. D. Okay? Index finger is up. That catches a lot of people. E. Now I've seen some people have the fingers are sitting on top of the thumb. I've seen it broken apart also like this. Both are acceptable. The important thing is though that your thumb is across. It doesn't have to be fully across. Nothing you should do in your hand should hurt. It should just gently be there, E. Okay? F is like the OK sign. Make sure these fingers are nice and spread. These are together. G. The back of your hand shall now be facing the person who you're signing to. I've also seen when people get more comfortable with sign and they're more fluid and so forth, they'll have their G tilted up. For our purposes, since we're learning, we're going to just keep it level. It should not hurt your wrist though, okay? Nothing in sign should be hurting. H is 2 fingers. H. I. Pinky is up, thumbs across. J is one of the 2 moving letters. You're going to draw a J actually with the pinky from the letter I. J. J. K is another tricky one that gets people. From the side it looks like this. My pointer finger is going straight up. My thumb is along the line of my pointer finger. And my middle finger is going at a 45-degree angle. Pointer finger straight. Middle finger's the one at the angle. Okay? And your palm faces the person you're signing to. K. L. Not too tricky. M. Now, my thumb goes underneath these 3 fingers, but it sits on top of my pinky. The 3 fingers are on top. I like to remember the 3 bumps that are in a cursive M. So, we have M. N is very similar to it. N is 2 fingers on top. Your thumb is in between your ring finger and your middle finger. I've also seen for M and M, I've seen the fingers are out. M. Horizontally. M and N. O. Again, pretty easy. P is very much like the letter K. You get your index finger going straight, your middle finger at an angle, and your thumb along the same way, but it's going down. It should not be pushing down. It should not hurt your wrist or anything. It's just gently down. P. My index finger is almost horizontal with the ground. P. Could go down a little bit more, but just don't hurt your wrist. That's not the point. Q is like the letter G, but down, also there. From this angle, you see that my index and my thumb are going the same direction, and my other fingers are tucked underneath. So Q. I know it's hard to see from that angle, but that's Q. R, the fingers are crossed. I always put the middle one behind it because mine is longer and it's more comfortable that way. R. S, it's a fist. I think of it like you're strong. Your thumb is in front of the other fingers. Unlike E where it's underneath and A when it's on the side, it's in front of them. T, you have one finger over top, Your thumb is in between your index and your middle finger. These fingers over here should not be hurting. You're not tensing them. They're just resting there. Close, though. U. Both fingers are together. V. W. My thumb is holding my pinky down. That's not required. Some people can't reach it. But these three fingers are up. W. X. It looks like a claw from the side. It's your index finger that's making the claw, and the rest of your fist is just gently together. X. Y. It is your thumb and your pinky that are sticking up, not your index finger. Your index finger and middle and ring are all down. Y. And then Z is the second letter and the last letter, but it's the second letter that moves. You can either draw a Z with your index finger, or you can draw a Z with your pinky. Both are acceptable. I've seen both. Z. Okay, we made it through the alphabet. I'm going to do it again, only I'm going to go a little bit faster, not explaining each one. Not too much faster, though, but I won't do my explanations in between. Okay? So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Good! If you need to rewind to see my first explanation or practice going through it again, I do encourage you to do that. I'm going to do it a little bit faster now. If you've got it down, or maybe you've learned your alphabet before and this is review, you can try to do it with me. I'm going to go a little bit faster, not too fast, but faster. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's enough for the first lesson. Practice your alphabet. And when I mean practice your alphabet, I mean you should be able to practice your name. You should be able to practice other people's names, but I have even had people who are like standing, I've done this before, you're standing in the grocery store waiting in line, and you look over at the magazines and you finger spell, that's what that is when you spell with your fingers, you finger spell the title to the magazine, or the name of the person who's on the magazine. And the reason why you want to practice things like names and titles and signs is because you want to be able to recall your alphabet on demand. You're not going to want to, every time you want to do the letter M, be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. No, you're going to want to be able to say M, and be able to jump right to that letter. because in everyday life, when you're finger spelling, you will not have the time to go through the alphabet to get to it. I'm going to do my name, Jacob, just so that you can see and practice. And then I encourage you to practice your name and maybe a family member's name. So my name is Jacob. That's me signing out, and look forward to future lessons with you. We'll go over more things, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.